Unless we keep getting momentum. If the momentum goes onward and upward forever, then I might keep streaming for like 3 or 4 hours, who knows. But the general goal is to keep it under 4 hours just so I can edit it in the future. So that there's not holes in the future playlist for the dozen or so people that watch that in the future. Did I just say future 70 times? That is the question. Future. Reminds me of the line from The Bachelor, starring Chris O'Donnell, the charming man-child Robin in Batman Forever of the 90s, who just randomly vanished off the face of the earth after that. Which happens frequently enough with actors. Actresses, they pretty much all stop at roughly the same point, except for, you know, Meryl Streep or somebody like that. Like, if they're the greatest actress to ever lived, and they can continue as long as they want, but once the woman stops being considered attractive by producers and so forth, they stop getting job offers. That's essentially how that works. So, usually in late 30s, early 40s. So running why Julia Roberts was in literally every movie ever. It was still a reasonably attractive woman, by the way, but it doesn't matter because she's in her 40s now, and, well, you're not allowed to be an actress if you're in your 40s. So, but men do not have this issue, so the reason why Chris O'Donnell vanished off the face of the planet remains a mystery. But anyway, The Bachelor was probably the best romantic comedy I've ever seen. It presently has like a 5.2 on IMDb and like a 30 or 40% in Rotten Tomatoes, but I really enjoy that movie. So, I mean, I don't really despise romantic comedies, I just think they're a waste of time and effort, but occasionally they're pretty funny. That being one of the exceptions. Alright. Let's see here. So, as you can see, the thread can has wonderful crowd control. Of course, I already did this area early in the stream, so trying to regurgitate the same exact commentary is difficult. Not something my brain wants to do inherently. So maybe I should talk more about Chris O'Donnell. The film Batman Forever is actually relatively decent as shitty Batman movies go. Before the Batman Begins era, every Batman movie was terrible to some degree or another. A lot of people like the first Batman film with Jack Nicholson as the Joker and Michael Keaton as Batman, and I like that movie as well, but it's not really that good. It's certainly garbage compared to modern superhero movies. For the most part. Like, I'm sure it's much better than Green Lantern or what have you. Or like Suicide Squad will probably be, and so forth. But in general, that movie's not that great. It's like a 7-ish out of 10. Jack Nicholson's excellent in the movie, and he got paid like $60 million in 1990 to play it, so he should have been good in the movie if he got paid that much. Of course, Jack Nicholson's one of the most talented actors who ever lived, but that doesn't mean, like, 60 million in the early 90s is something like 150 million now. It's way more than Robert Downey Jr. ever made for an Iron Man movie, or a Captain America movie, as it were. I'm assuming Robert Downey Jr. wants out of the superhero loop, so that should give at least some implication of what will happen in the future. But we'll see. Like, I don't read comics. I read comics for a brief stint in my life, but not very often. So I don't know every comic book arc. I know some of them just due to osmosis. Like, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, that one, that was not too hard to figure out, because that's one of the most famous moments. Or Batman vs. Superman, the end of that. Also not too hard to figure out. Didn't I summon Gascon? Maybe I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, then he won't be here. If I did, then he should be here. Okay, he's chilling over there for no reason. Welcome back to reality, Gascon. Come back to reality, Dom. I can't do my Can impression, but I can impersonate whispers, I suppose. Yeah, I figured that would work. A nice ranged parry for him. Of course, when I get to playing Dark Souls 3, I'm not going to be doing parries very often. I mean, I'll parry stuff like Black Knights and what have you. I'll basically parry whatever I parry in Salt and Sanctuary. So, medium to heavy armored knights with sword and board and so forth. Usually two-handed knights I don't parry. That's just how I play Dark Souls. Of course, I parry a shitload of enemies in Bloodborne, because that's how you play Bloodborne. And in Demon Souls, I like dodging a lot. In Dark Souls, I prefer blocking. Just because the design of the game changed fundamentally between the two. You could still win by dodging, but it's frequently unnecessary, and often takes more effort. It depends on the boss, though. But like Artorias, I think the optimal way to fight Artorias has always been blocking, because you can punish after every attack if you block, but if you dodge you cannot necessarily. It's a very simple conclusion to make.